And what you have to understand is you look at the bigger picture and you go, okay, so we know about Operation Northwoods, that's declassified. We know about MK Ultra, that's declassified. We know about all of these other things that have ended up. We question weapons of mass destruction narratives. We question the 9/11 narrative. We question all of these things, and then you start to put the bigger puzzle together and be like, again, how many of these things can you possibly have to question before you go? There is a larger thing at hand.
That's it, man. That's it. How many coincidences do there need to be? But, you know, I guess that's the thing, man. Like, there's always going to be people that just can't accept it. Like the Matrix quote, they just can't believe that the government would be out there going against your best intentions or your best, you know, like...
Or not even that the government are out to do it, that they're being controlled to do it, that they're being manipulated to do it, that they're being blackmailed to do it, whichever way you want to look at it. I think that they are just a very small arm of a much bigger oligarchy. You know, I think that...
man. The spider web stretches big.
Because, again, we've just said... I mean, look at the world wars. Look at the fact that we just were marched to our slaughter for what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly right.
You know, there's so... And again, I haven't done enough looking into that, but I know enough about it to understand how outrageous it is. And again, that was the kind of... a lot of people came out of the Great Depression from that, asking questions about what was really the purpose other than millions of people dying.
It. Especially when the same people were bankrolling both sides. It's kind of like, well, what's going on here? You know, and that's proven fact. It's interesting because I did want to, before we wrap it up, I did actually want to go into something a little bit more deep about that, and the way that the deep state operate is they use psychological operations, or Psy Ops. Right. So the definition here says psychological operations are operations to convey selected information and indicators to audiences to influence their emotions, motives, and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and individuals.
Well, so
now that's the Wikipedia. Now that's the Wikipedia definition of PsyOps, psychological operation. Now you can look at a lot of different things out here being PsyOps, and a lot of them, a lot of PsyOps are also done by the white hats, the good people as well, because sometimes you need people to be thinking one way when they're actually over here doing this over here.
Yeah.
So that's also what muddies the waters about a lot of these things, is like the deep state are out here doing their own psyops. Then you've got the alliance or the white hats over here who have been trying to claw down the deep state for years and bring liberation to our whole fucking planet.
Yep.
And they also need to do it as well. So disinformation and misinformation is always going to be something, at least until all this comes out and all the truth comes out, is always going to be something that people are battling with. So like we were saying before, the critical thinking is often such a massive part to these things.
Something we're not taught.
Well,
you have to learn.
We're not taught. We're not taught on purpose, because the deep state also control the. Well, I don't know necessarily as much these days, but like they control the educational system. So,
well, have you ever challenged a teacher before?
Yeah.
In school, you actually challenged because
I did. Yes.
For some reason, your parents actually are an amazing, well versed in that subject, or you happen to know more, and you challenge them. They have no idea what to do, because even them going through their education to be an educator aren't taught how to foster that belief or foster that idea. So
exactly
it's
right.
It's a system. It's a systemic problem.
100%, right? Because they're taught, because through their education, they're taught to think a certain way, which means that it just trickles down. And if you're taught, if this teaching of these the university courses of these teachers are manipulated by the deep state, then they're going to be teaching kids like the meme with the kids in the line, and they're all lining up and it says school, and they've got like a cloud or like a thinking bubble above their head with a light bulb in it, and then the teacher's coming in and just cutting it with scissors and making it a square.
Yeah.
It's like they just need everybody to just be smart enough to function in society, but not smart enough to ask questions.
And that's what I said to that when that guy said to me, like, you need to go to a state library. And I said, but what I'm trying to convey to you here is that the idea that every one of those books is just another tool, right? That only what they want us to know or see or learn has been allowed to be published and allowed to be put on these shelves and allowed to be on the in our classrooms, because it's much bigger than just the one isolated thing.
100%.
So, so going back to the Psy Op thing, the Operation Northwoods, which we talked about, you can go and read this if you want a place to start. If you're listening to this because you're like, I just want to see, I see these guys share shit on Facebook, but I want to understand more about, where I can start to either think about what has possibly led them to where they are now. Operation Northwoods is the perfect declassified example of a psyop, right?
Yeah.
The idea is that you can't just go and bomb a country, right? You just can't go. Actually, there's I don't know. This isn't something that's declassified, but there's a very big theory that they could have stopped Pearl Harbor happening, right?
Okay.
That they had the military, they actually knew they were coming, but think about it in a sense of if the planes the Japanese are coming over and you shoot them out of the sky, you win. You're done.
Yeah, that's it.
You've taken out their entire fleet.
Yeah.
So if you take out their entire fleet and then drop a nuke on them, you're an asshole, right?
Yeah.
You're the bad guy. But if they bomb the shit out of your harbor and it's this big, massive thing, unprecedented, and then you nuke, it's still kind of an overreaction, but you're kind of like, oh, well, they wanted to make sure they didn't think about doing it again.
Well, that's it, man. That's the whole problem, reaction, solution thing. And if any of our audience don't know that, it's like you have a problem, and then you have the solution already planned. So in that case, it would be like they want to nuke Japan.
Well, you create the problem.
So well, that's right.
So
you
that
create the problem. Well, the problem's there. You create all of them. You create the problem, the reaction, and the solution.
Well, you create the problem, you gauge the reaction, and then you implement the solution. And that's repeated over and over again. So Operation Northwoods again. The idea was to how do we convince people that we should be intervening in Cuba, and how should we take out Fidel Castro, who's this absolute evil man. Let's shoot down one of our own planes full of civilians and blame it on Cuba, and then that's going to be the thing that allows people to think. When we say about 9/11, we believe that again it's a psyop because they want to intervene. The whole idea and why they want to be in the Middle East is because they have the richest supply of oil. They don't have any Rothschild's central banks, right?
Yeah, one of the only places. I think that's the only place that did or does.
Yeah, I'm not sure who now, but basically, I know, Libya, Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria all didn't have one at that time.
And did you notice that they had basically a patsy in all of them except for Syria? So, like you were saying, Fidel Castro being the patsy for Cuba.
Yep.
Then you had for Iran, you had Saddam Hussein. For Muhammad Gaddafi, what was he again? Well, Libya? Was that Libya?
Yeah, I think so. Gaddafi, yeah.
I think it was. So they had him for him. They had Osama bin Laden for Afghanistan. And then with Syria, which is the most recent country, they tried to.
No, wait, it's not Netanyahu.
Netanyahu is Israel. I forgot.
I can't think of the guy's name from... But yeah, same thing. There's always that one person who, we need to remove this evil dictator. Look what he's doing to the place. But then they come in and fuck, the American occupies that place and fucks it up 100 times worse.
Oh, 100%.
All of those photos of Syria before and after and Iraq before and after. It's so heartbreaking. Man. Yeah. And these soldiers that have come out and talked about the horrors that went on. But to think about, they were there for poppy fields, which is, what is the opium production, which then goes back and feeds Big Pharma, who then does things like, and we'll have a very big Pharma episode, but there is something that I need to research a little bit more on, where basically a company who was producing oxycodone, like Oxycontin, what we have here, and they were able to get an advertisement that ran and basically said that this stuff is okay to be on the shelf like Panadol and had no addictive qualities.
Yeah.
And that whole event there started the painkiller epidemic the opioid epidemic that America is in right now. So they wanted to occupy the Middle East because they wanted to be able to, deconstruct the regime that was in place that wasn't anywhere near as bad as what the media made it out to be. They wanted to install a Rothschild-owned central bank, and then they could run free and have, get control of the oil, the gold supply, and the poppy fields.
That's exactly right.
And so then you look at, but they couldn't just go over there and do it, because then they're You know, they're an evil. That's war. They're inciting war. But you want to get over there, so you make it seem like they're the enemy and we're over there liberating these companies.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Countries, sorry.
Once again, Psy Op.
And it's all just a big thing. They have to get us on side, because if we just see our military going over and doing these heinous things without, but they're over there stopping terrorists.
Well, that's
then
it,
we're not going to get on board with
terror.
it, you know. And even the people, you need your army to believe in the idea.
You do,
because they're the ones that are going to be over there killing civilians, essentially, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Is you need them to be like, yeah, I'm fighting for my country, you know, which is so heartbreaking, because these people are the ones on the front line losing limbs and lives,
because they are fucking fighting for their country.